Yo, listen, Hvshi. Listen, bro.
Yeah,
You're on the Junkyard Love podcast.
Hey, man.
Finally.
It's about time.
It's damn about time. It's perfect timing, that's for sure.
Hey, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Shaden, man, I'm super glad to have you here.
Thank you, bro. I'm excited to be here. It's been too long.
Yeah, wait, actually, before we even just do this introduction, let's pop these beers and just cheers it up real quick.
Okay.
So, I'm happy to have you on here and talk about your career and who you are, like, as a rapper and as a person. But that's the dopest thing about this is, like, I don't have any management. Like, I don't have anybody telling me what to do. Like, your management is my homies.
Right,
and so
right.
we get to just drink a beer and just bullshit, man. Like, we just get to get comfy and get to know you. Like, there's no, I don't know, man. It's just pumped. Like, I'm just pumped. I get to catch up with my homies when they're in town, when they're in the state.
Exactly.
And then I get, you know.
We got to do it on a professional level.
Yeah, that's wild.
Be all cool.
Well, shit, bro. Let's take it from the young ages. So you're a rapper. Let's just start with that. People who haven't heard of Hvshi,
Yeah.
we'll link the info in the comments, of course.
Definitely.
But so all you know right now, listener, is this man's a rapper sitting across from me. Give me a little bit of your story, my bro.
I grew up in Kelso. Came from Kelso High School. Grew up just as a little punk ass skater kid. I was always pretty smart and stuff. Just had like my own way about it. I didn't want to do it like the standard way or however I was supposed to do it. I didn't want to do it that way. So I was always just pushing against the grain, trying to just have my fun, but like create a life where I could be free. And more than anything, just like my freedom is like my biggest thing. I wanted to be able to do what I want and have a good time and like see the people I love smile. So I was always thinking I was going to be a pro skater or biker.
Really?
Anything.
Just something wild, something moving, something crazy.
Anything crazy that I just thought that was going to be it because I didn't want to do it how I was supposed to do it.
Right.
So growing up, I was just always like dreaming and scheming, and I'd been writing songs since I was like 12.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that was like, that was the one thing that I wouldn't say I was gonna be because I knew my dad would kill me if I was like, you know what, Dad, I figured it out. I'm gonna be a rock star. This shit's gonna be tight.
No parent wants to hear that.
Yeah.
Right?
So I just like wrote, but I just didn't think about it. And then eventually, it was like, I was just writing because I had like all this stuff in my mind because I've always been like I don't sleep, like I've been a non-sleeper. I just be sitting in my room.
You're overthinking or
right. I just overthink and like analyze and think about every situation in life and like how shit's
bro,
going.
we were just talking before this about how we both seem to see things like as a whole, like, you know, like
right.
There's the individual parts, but there's someone who's kind of up above who's like, okay, the chess player, not the chess.
You know what I'm
pieces.
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. So I've always just like analyze and think and like try to put everything together, but I just seem to do it through the night instead of sleeping. So like it just turned into like me writing songs because I had all these feelings and ideas and stuff like about what the hell was going on or what my idea of it, and then then it just turned into like singing it and
people start listening.
Yeah, people feel like that. I guess.
Wait, what'd you do? So when you first started actually like recording it, did you just what program you used? You remember?
The first time I ever recorded
First time ever.
was we had like this. My computer actually didn't even end up working. I rented a hotel because I was living in my friend's basement with my other friend.
How old are you at this point?
Like barely 18.
Okay.
Like I was living in my friend's basement with like two other people. And so like I finally got all the money to get all the recording gear and shit, but like we couldn't record there. Obviously, it was trash and stuff. So we took and I rented a hotel room for like 2 nights so that we could record for the first time ever and see what happened.
Perfect.
And we got there and it didn't work. Like I couldn't like. We were running off like some bunk ass program that we tried to rip off and stuff. It didn't work at all.
There's a lot of shit that can go wrong in those programs.
Right. So then Eric came through and brought his MacBook. So we ended up recording in GarageBand and I made my first song ever that night. And it was called, I think it was called like Tell Me to Stop or something like that. And it was just.
Do you still have that song? Is it out?
It's not out.
Is it? Bro, now the fans are like, when are you going to release that?
I have it. No, it's so old. It was a long time
How
ago.
is it like if you listen to it now?
It's like, I don't know. I haven't heard it in a long time, but it's still the same attitude. Like it was It was just about, it was like, if you tell me to stop, then I'm gonna tell you no, or something like that. Like it just basically, exactly what I'm saying.
Sometimes that shit's tight though, and it's enough to kind of get the emotion. Like, sometimes it's not so much about. That's something I love about hip hop, is it's not so much about what they're saying. Sometimes, like a lot of times, it is about what you're saying, right? But a lot of times, the fill words is the frequencies, man. Like the vibe, even just like if someone was humming like the love,
right. Well, and I mean, like that, it was so unmixed and like so crazy back then.
So that doesn't come
and
across.
like it just was like a single like basic track. But I remember we was in the hotel room just like raging in there, like it was the best shit we could have ever done.
Bro, that's what you gotta do though. You gotta do that. You gotta hype yourself up.
That's always been one of my problems actually, is I don't know how to like tell if my song's actually good, like if I should drop it, because like every song that has been like one of my better songs, like Wake Up, and I loved Yeah, but like Wake Up, and there's a couple other ones like I did not like it, I didn't want to drop it, like I wasn't gonna drop it, and then like Andrew or one of my brothers or something would be like, no, this is the one, dude, like you gotta let that go, because like me, I don't know, like a lot of my music, I really just like to like sing about what I'm feeling, or like emotional shit.
It's
so
like I don't know if you're gonna like this.
Yeah,
but that's
so like I just like to like sing some stuff, and then like I'll just sit in there and just listen to like what I sang. Like if I die tomorrow, like some of my emotional songs, I just sit there and just like, I didn't know if it was good or not. It was just what I needed to hear. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, it just feels amazing. Like I don't like.
See, that's the secret though. That's how you dig out in your mind the real shit. That's right. That's why people feel what they pick up what you're fucking putting down, man.
I guess so.
Yeah. So okay. So you mentioned your brothers. You have 2 brothers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So back up a little bit before you're 18. What's your life like before you're 18? What's your childhood like? You want to talk about that?
Grew up with my parents.
Okay.
I had some dope ass parents.
Yeah. Shout out your parents.
Yeah. They was always trying to teach us kind of like my mindset. My dad always wanted me to do good things and be a good person. But more than anything, he always just taught me like to just whatever you're gonna do, just do it 100%. Like the business, don't half-ass it. Right. Don't cheat yourself in life. Like if you're gonna go for it, just do it. Like what do you mean try? Like why would you try to do it?
What's the point of trying?
Just do it. Yeah. And I mean it was kind of like rough as a kid, because I was like, what do you mean, Dad? Like this shit is so hard. Like
were you in sports or anything? Like
yeah, I wrestled. But like the sports I loved like snowboarding or skating,
right?
Shit like that. Which I mean, it's more expensive to go up to the mountain and snowboard all the time. But like skateboarding and like riding bikes and stuff like that. Like I really and like motocross and shit. I just like going fast.
Right. So I feel it. I can see that.
I mean, like sports like are cool, but it was always just kind of boring for me. And I'm not like ball coordinated type deal. Like
you ain't ball coordinated.
Yeah, that ain't me. But like I just like to go really fast.
Right. Just meshing down a mountain.
Yeah,
bro. One of my favorite things to do is, I mean, so I'm not super on speed. I'm more of a flow person. Yeah. So like, it never really got me wiggling, to like bomb a hill on a skateboard just going straight down. But I did love hitting a hill on a skateboard in my headphones and just weaving through shit. Like just vibing, just trying to like be smooth. The same thing on a snowboard.
Oh yeah, that's kind of me too. It's like everybody knows I like to smoke. So like skating, I just be cruising through the bowl, shredding.
Ooh yeah. Have you been skating a lot now that you live in Arizona? Now you've been skating a lot.
I've been skating a lot more, but
is it so hot when you're bored out there?
It's really hot. Bro, so you get winded so fast.
I couldn't imagine, man. I would be complaining for the first like 3 weeks till I got home.
Nah, man, it was something else. And then in the middle of the summertime, literally like 115 degrees for like a month and a half straight.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Every day.
If you eat shit, you also get burnt.
Yeah, the ground is like burning hot. Like
it's literally the floor is lava, bro.
And there's no warm up for it. Like you wake up in the morning, walk out to your car at 9 o'clock in the morning. Right. It's already 108 degrees outside.
Burning cold.
It doesn't even make any sense. Yeah. It's wild.
It's just way too hot. I mean, but so you grew up being able to snowboard and skateboard here because you're from here over the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful. Yeah. So back when you're skateboarding and shit, like, were you close with your brothers when you were growing
Oh,
up?
definitely.
Yeah.
That's like my 2 little brothers.
Yeah, you guys are hella close.
Those are my best friends in the whole world forever.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, like, we kind of grew up like at our own house, like a little bit away from people and shit. It's like, obviously we had hella friends and stuff, but we just always rocked together. And it was like, whether we was at the skate park or doing whatever we was doing, we was just always together. Like, that was the gang. It was just us. Like, and I mean, obviously our friends that were with us and shit, but yeah, those are my people.
Right. Yeah, dude, that's the cool thing. I mean, I feel like what I see from just like an outside perspective of looking at you three, it seems like, you know, obviously, you know, you're the oldest, you're the leader, right? But you guys
sometimes
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sometimes them boys they be the wise ones.
You guys make this like super thing is the thing is you make this like, hey, together, like alone we're kind of fuckers, you know. Sometimes we can be too wild, whatever. But together, you know, we can put our heads to some shit.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know that. I'm sure they probably do a lot of what you do. We were talking on the way up here about one of your brothers. He's doing the music too.
Definitely. Baby NA just dropped PS4.
Did he? Dope.
That's just hella dope.
Oh yeah. I saw the logo for the thumbnail. I haven't watched it. I'm gonna have to check that one out.
That one's super dope. Andrew actually filmed it. So, yeah. So it's pretty crazy.
What's Andy's film?
GH Drew site, I believe, on Instagram.
Gotta make sure we mention it, man. He's getting pretty damn good.
Yep.
It's dope to watch him blossom, you know.
Definitely.
So the branch through growing up, I mean, on the way here, we were talking about like just like getting reckless and like avoiding pain. You know, a lot of your lyrics come through in that, and that's the realness, and we got to dive into that. So
definitely.
Can you talk about like you know, like recently you're saying your brother was just he's just doing better now too, you know.
Definitely.
Be, you know, forward, going straight.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
You were telling me you were doing some stupid shit too. You're just doing a little bit better now. Like, tell me about this mindset, man. Like, what was going on? What's happening now? What's different?
I mean, like shit. I mean, we had a really cool life and everything with our parents and being close together and stuff, but that doesn't like mean it wasn't crazy and like hectic and a lot to take sometimes. So I mean, a lot of life growing up was like a lot of mayhem and everything behind the scenes of it being really dope, and then it turned into me later. Like, so I mean, like late 17 through like 22, I'm like out there by myself, really trying to figure shit out, like trying to get music undergoing. I'm living with friends, trying to like figure out money, stuff like that. My parents were really going through a hard time. My dad got sick and I couldn't work anymore. He had like a spinal disease and stuff like that. And then, so I mean, it was really, we was all for our own for a minute, like trying to figure it out. So it started getting harder and harder, trying to piece it together. We're trying to get studio pieces, you know, do anything we can just to try to make the dream happen. And of course, like, it's even more stressful because as things are falling apart, people are like, you should be getting like jobs and stuff that's actually going to guarantee you bringing money. And the more stressful it's getting, we're all going, no, we're going to believe in this even more because this has to work. It's even more important. Like, it has to work. Like, so
it's a mindset you got to push through in a small town, man.
Exactly. So it just turned into a lot of craziness and using things to try to not have to feel shit and you know whatnot.
We all got our vices, man.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of it was fun and there was ups and downs and everything, trying to vibe through it, and then finally getting music to work. And then we're on tour. We're going crazy, having a great time. Like, you finally like feel like, hey, maybe like I'm gonna bring something home and like let them know that maybe we're gonna be good. Like, and then like the night before I was supposed to come home off tour, Pops passes away, like on some freak shit. So that just that kind of just put all of us, I mean, going from like one of the highest highs that I've personally ever been at, just being on tour and like finally feeling like, I mean, we're connected with a label. We're like, there's like contracts on the table. Like, this is like a dream come true. This is literally everything that they said that we weren't going to do. And like, for some reason it's actually happening. And then like in the same night of walking off stage from like sold out shows and shit, to get like the phone call and be like, hey, you know, like your superhero's gone now. So like, you gotta like come figure this out. It was just like all of us kind of just like hit a spiral, you know, trying to just
Trying to just process.
Yeah, just trying to process shit and then
avoid it too. You know, we talk about that, what we always
run
do.
from it and deal with it at the same time,
Right.
and then at the same time also like being put like right back on the tour afterwards. And I mean, that's what I wanted because I was like, we can't stop. Like, you know, it's not an option. Yeah. So like,
bro, that's tough as hell. That's tough. You know, so props to you for real for pulling through strength on that. Give me some of this real quick.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You got to be strong through those things, man. It gives other people around us the strength. You know, process.
Exactly. But I mean, like the hard part of it is being like going back to tour. Then I'm away from my brothers again and my mom and stuff. So like trying to like take care of each other, but like through the distance and you know be there. And it just was a lot of stuff. You know, my brother's going through school and was like at the point of graduating and going through all this shit. It's like it was just a lot of mayhem, you know.
Yeah, bro.
And then this is, you know, and with Pop's gone, I'm supposed to be the leader, you know, like taking care of the house and shit, and then I'm not even there because I'm, you know, out trying to get it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing about pursuing your dream is it's a long goal, man. It's a long con. It's a whole life thing. It's that's what you're doing. So it's like I can understand that it felt like you're like, man, what could I do to help right now? But you got it on straight to me, man. And you're like, all I can do to really help is not sabotage this. And
literally, because that's what like I was like, I said it in a song. The song's gone now, but it was out for a while. I said it in a song because I was like having conversations in my head. It's like my mom didn't even say it, but like in my head, like I'm like, you're freaking out because it's like I'm out here. I do it for the fam. And it's like you do it for the fam, but you're not at home. Yeah. And it's like you just like in your head freaking out, like because you're telling yourself I'm doing this like for them, and like we're gonna do it and stuff. And it's like, but like to them, it's like I didn't even see you, like you know what I mean? So it's
man, that's the hardest thing, man. It's hard to. There's not one way to show up is the thing. And it's like in times of tragedy especially, we think that there's only one way to show up. It's like, man, I don't know why, but it just feel better if you were here crying next to me.
Right. You just want that. You want to physically, like, you know, feel in there.
Yeah. I mean, and that's, you know, that's not unreasonable at all. I totally get that, man. I'm an emotional person myself.
Definitely, me too.
But I mean, so it seems like again, we were talking on the way over. It seems like you guys are starting to near, you know, processing things and in dealing with them, and obviously like that's kind of changing your music. Obviously,
definitely.
Like I hear it a little bit just in your newer songs. Obviously in Fake Friends, a little more vibey, a little laid back. I think that what's happening coming forward though is definitely going to be probably what, like maybe a little more of this healing out loud. So you guys went through this tragedy.
Definitely.
Like what's where are you at now with this?
So now I mean recently really, because I mean there was a bunch of stuff. I mean a lot of people heard I moved to Arizona, so I've been out there now, going through a bunch of shit, and then got crazy out there just because it's a whole brand new setup and new people and new parties and bigger cities and stuff like that. So it got crazy, and I kind of got out of control again. But like in the recent like past 6 months, everything's kind of came to like a I don't know, beautiful closure, I guess.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
You know, I kind of like. I mean, I'm still having fun. Everybody knows me. I'm still having fun and hanging out.
And being yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. But like the destruction is kind of like out of my system. I mean, like we wrecked the cars and went too far like plenty of times now that it's like I kind of got to see life differently. I mean, especially like you get different perspectives, and I mean, a lot of it was just. Like the ups and downs are so hard to deal with because I mean, you go from being on tour and sold out shows and partying and like feeling like a superstar every night, and then like when tour is over and then like you just go home and like sit at your house, like just sit at your house and like do nothing and like I mean try to make music and like keep being progressive and shit, but it's just way different.
Feels, when you're at home, it doesn't feel like you made it when you're at home.
Yeah, right? You're like. You got to try to convince yourself that you're still as cool as you felt. Like,
yeah, man, that's something about like touring. So for my audio engineering job, like I tour just around the U.S. here and there for certain periods, and it's like for some reason, that's kind of how it happened for me. It felt like when I was out and about and posting about it, like on the gram and stuff, it felt like I was like doing something. I'm living like this thing.
Right,
Even if it's just like a picture of your feet at the PDX airport, you know.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, I'm proud of myself. But then you get back and you're, you know, it's like, fuck, what, like, who am I? You know,
what am I gonna do now?
We get confused that we forget that like the whole thing is your life. The whole thing is the process, bro.
Exactly.
So,
that's why you try to like remind yourself. You're like,
you got it.
No, before the tour, like this is what put me on. Like was sitting in my room making music, going crazy.
Yeah.
So like, you just gotta keep doing it, I guess.
Yeah. You get what you wish for. That's for sure.
Exactly.
What do you got? Let's talk mindset. Where you at mindset wise right now? Like, so obviously, you know, you're still living your life. Like, you got shit under control. You got the beast tamed. I feel it seems like you've been working a lot more lately. Where you at right now? Like, what's the vibe that you've been putting out lately in your music?
Like you said, I kind of got to the point where like the animal inside of me, I can like control it instead of like letting it, you know, kind of ruin everything. It's like when you can control it and channel it in like direction, that's when you get like some crazy shit. Yeah. So I've just kind of been like channeling myself and just making all this new music, and it's like opened up a whole new chapter and kind of like bringing stuff back from like where I came from, because you know I love rap and hip hop and all this new shit going on and whatnot, but a lot of what I grew up on was like guitars and good grooves and hard rock and, you know, all that craziness too. So I've been working on these R&B, like pop, hip hop songs and like using those crazy bass drums that we all love, like 808s. But then, you know, like setting like, you know, bass guitar grooves and then rhythms with the guitar and stuff. I don't play the guitar, but, you know, like working with people that be doing stuff like that, and like it just putting like a whole different part of my energy into the music. And then just I've been writing way different. Like I feel like I've been using my words better. Like
do you think just like learning more, just like getting older, like as a man, like you get better at writing? You think that's showing up?
Yeah, definitely. I've been feeling like that because I've definitely been like feeling older lately, and kind of like looking back at my life and like seeing new perspectives. And rather than like being in the midst of doing what I was doing, I'm like looking at it and seeing like why I was doing it and how I was doing it and what I was necessarily running towards or from, or like what I was dealing with subconsciously that I didn't even want to realize at the time. So it's just starting to like, I mean, see your own existence in a different light. And it's just like, you just start to learn about yourself. And when you know more about yourself, you can express it better.
Right, dude. And sometimes you learn about yourself as you're expressing it. Like I have that sometimes. Like, dude, I'll be like, bro, I thought I knew what that song was about, and then I'll like kind of add some lyrics to it. Like 4 days. This morning, bro, I literally added like 2 more lines to the shit, and I'm like, oh, this song is about that. I'm like, oh, I thought this was like just. I thought I was writing it because I've been working with other bands. I've been trying to like contribute more lyrics and shit. But so this new shit, like, what are you discovering? I mean, we can dive into a couple specific songs. What do you got like specifically coming out?
Damn.
So when the fans hear it, they already know what it's about from your perspective.
Yeah, that's crazy you said that, because like for real, like that's some real shit. Like I'll just be sitting there writing, or like sometimes I write and then I find the beat, or sometimes I we create a beat and then I write the song into it, or like I'll write the song and then make a beat around it. Sometimes I'll literally just walk in there after like the song's there and just like sing, like, and it'll just happen. But like sometimes, dude, like you just be in there and you're like writing and doing all this stuff and you're just like, yeah, this just sounds cool. And then like you come back 2 days later and you're like, damn, this is about all these things. Yeah,
you're like, I think I'm gonna cry it though. No, bro,
I was seriously, that's one song. It was already out. It's down. It's coming back like within a week or so actually. But If I Die Tomorrow, that song, I was trying to write that song for like 2 years. Like just everything is about, but I didn't know how to like put it together. It was just kind of like I had all these feelings and ideas about life and like how I felt and stuff, I guess, that like I wanted to say and I wanted to leave for my people and my brothers and stuff. Like, if I die tomorrow, like this is what I have to tell you. Like, and like I just always wanted to write it, and like one day, like after 2 years, I just walked up to the microphone And I didn't mean to. I wasn't planning on it. I was just like, I'm going to freestyle to this beat and just get my rhythms and see what I'm thinking about. And then I'll write over that because I like to get that natural feel out. And I just walked up and just sang the whole song. I just like sang it.
It just fell out.
And like halfway through, like I'm just like, like bawling, just like it was just like it was the most unreal release I've ever expressively felt. Like that it was amazing.
Damn, bro, that's so beautiful.
I mean it's about my dad and my brothers and like my girlfriend and my friends and just everyone.
Your world,
like my whole world. Like this is how I feel. Like and like
you were able to finally say it. Too, after 2 years.
And it was so crazy. That's such a special song to me.
Yeah, wait, what's the name of it one more time?
If I Die Tomorrow. It's coming back out. It's on the Forever Is a Moment mixtape.
Okay, so I'm gonna release this within a couple days. Maybe today, we'll see. But what day does it come out?
Man,
today's the.
I'm gonna try to drop it like right before Christmas, hopefully. Okay.
So that's fine, right?
Because right now on Apple Music, I took Perfect Timing, Where You Want to Go, and If I Die Tomorrow off because they're being remastered. And a lot of people like those songs. So,
dude, it's Perfect Timing. Those
three are coming back to Apple and Spotify. So that'll be cool.
Okay, shit, that's good to know too.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I mean, we can talk about a new unreleased one though.
All right.
Because I got this new EP that it might be held for a while.
Hey, wait, hold up. What's an EP? For any listener who doesn't know,
it's like a short compilation of songs that fit the vibe.
Not a whole album.
Yeah, not a whole album. It's
just a little short.
It's just going to be 3 songs.
Okay,
that's it. But it's going to be called the 1988 EP, and it's just it's going to be cool. It's going to be a movie though.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a movie.
Okay, all right, give me a little bit more than that. I gotta hear a little bit. Okay, you don't have to spill all the beans.
Yeah. So it's 3 songs. The first song is called I'm Still Here.
Okay.
I almost forgot. Yeah, the first song is called I'm Still Here. The second song is called Smoke. I've left sneak peeks of that places and people like that one.
Okay.
Smoke, and then Bad Decisions in parentheses 1988.
Interesting.
And it's kind of like you said, it's kind of like me healing out loud and understanding my mayhem, and that's what the movie's gonna be about. I don't know if I'm gonna make it all 3 of the songs are gonna be one movie, or if it'll be a movie with 3 episodes. But regardless,
it's a crazy cool project though.
So what is gonna be? We started making it. It's gonna be really crazy,
dude. I'm gonna have to after this podcast. I'm gonna have to be like, bro, you email it to me.
I'll tell you a little piece. Like it's gonna start out like in a laboratory, like in the Spider-Man movie, like Green Goblin, like
for sure,
like he's built in a laboratory. So it's gonna like somebody's gonna walk in to this laboratory. It's gonna be all like dark and crazy, and Shaden's gonna be in there working on this like mutilated project, and it's gonna be Hvshi 6 in the thing.
Oh
and
shit!
It's the demented project, and so it's gonna be like this, because as an artist you start to turn yourself into this
avatar
like thing, that like you bend and build into all these things. So it's like it'll be the mayhem of Shaden almost ruining it and filling Hvshi with a little bit too much substances and taking the girl away from him, and then how we react. And it's gonna be like,
wait, hold up, don't give it too much, bro. That is crazy. So I'm so pumped on that. I feel that on an artist perspective, bro. I love that you're getting so much better at like communicating, because as an artist, a lot of artists, obviously there's a whole story and a whole world in your head, and you're like, I think this is important, right? I think that like I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say to you, but there's a feeling that there's not really words for, but
exactly.
your whole life is just trying to get out of the way or express away,
right. And that's what like this movie is literally going to be better, exactly what I've wanted to say since I can ever remember talking. Like,
right.
Like seriously, like this movie is like is just me and how I feel about the world.
Well, so let's talk about like aliases, because as you were saying that, it's pretty wild, because I've been DJ Chronos for 8 years or something. That's like how a lot of people know who I am, and I like over the last year I've just been doing more audio engineering, audio directing work, doing more freelance stuff there.
Definitely.
But so I'm just not doing as much DJing, but I'm just like, I'm not really wanting to DJ as much. I enjoy the art of DJing, but I'm just doing less like public stuff. I just want to do less, kind of dissolving Chronos is what's happening as well. And so lately I've been doing these sound art pieces and just releasing them under those, under Jacob from the internet. So it seems like we're kind of like, it seems like we're kind of been doing a little bit of the same thing. I noticed that you've been doing the Hvshi 6 thing. So dude, I want to explain I always think of course you're going to have hella fans that are listening to this, but I always try to remember, like, there might be a 45-year-old lady listening to this. So I always like to explain, like, okay, you had to break it down for someone who, like, they're confused about what you're doing, but like they want to understand. Right. Aliases. So
Definitely.
like explain those. So it's something, this masks that we got to wear, and it represents different parts of our music.
Exactly. Because a lot of my fans don't know, but a lot of my fans do know. Like, there's been a couple versions, and that's kind of like what Hvshi 6 represents. Is different, like, versions of me, like, coming through. And it has always been me, but
of course
you get to like different points, and it feels like you evolve, like, almost.
Dude, it's like, different stages, ascension, like, man.
You turn into
evolution, baby.
Exactly. So, like, I started out as like Hvshi 1, is technically like the ocean for people that knew about that, and then Hvshi 2 was me just being Shaden and releasing music as that.
Yeah.
And then Hvshi 3 was like me, like, finally, like, making something that, like, broke through to the public. And like,
what time was Hvshi 3? Like, what song time?
Probably like said we couldn't, when like I got that song with Mark Battles, like that first thing, and people were like, because that was like the first time ever that people were like, whoa, we're gonna take him seriously, and like it might do something. And that was kind of like a wild stage of, like, for the first time, like, okay, we've just been in our bedroom with me and my little brother just making a bunch of crazy shit for fun, because we thought that we sounded crazy, and just having fun, and then, like, dropping stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like people were listening and, like, waiting for what was going to happen next. And it was like, whoa, this is a little bit different. Like,
and then you're like, yeah, dude, all of a sudden you're like, oh, we got to do something.
Yeah, I was like, okay, so now, like, we actually have to do something cool. So then it was like, I feel like the fourth version was kind of like my Dreadhead version, like doing like Wake Up and Yeah, and me kind of like finding a sound and like, really breaking through to the fans and going on tour and having all that fun and stuff. And then I'd say like the fifth like section of it, at this time I was just Hvshi, like, through the whole thing, but like,
of course,
like, because like there was that early like spark and feeling, and like, because I felt completely different through sections of my career. Like, so the fifth one's like right after we lost Pops, and then like had to come home and like still be like this thing that I'd created, but have to deal with everything at the same time. And like this, like, honestly,
it's hard
like this
for our
brand,
mental structures,
like,
man.
I just had like this brand new life already, and then like coming home and then like that all happening, it was like everything in my life changed at that point. Like, every single thing that I ever knew was different. So just like, it was just like this whole new thing. And then finally I got to like where we're getting and understanding, and starting to understand like what I'm supposed to mean in the world, at least to myself, and what I want to do and say and feel, and like what I want to leave behind. Because what I'm realizing is like, music's like the one thing in the world is like, when I'm gone, it's here, and that's me. And it's like they can't take you away, It's like I get to say that forever, right here on my neck. It's like I got my dad's ashes in this forever, because it's like what you leave behind, that's forever, and like I want to leave something that's important. So that's like, my birthday's December 6th, And
happy belated, baby.
Thank you. This is like the 6th version of me like understanding myself. Obviously I love Nikki Sixx and like his writing and how like his mayhem, like he avoided death a million times and like just like let his chaos like feel him and stuff. So I mean, just like I got like a lot of Sixx inspiration, I guess. So that's like this new version is just kind of like me just being me, but like finally for the first time, like I've been trying to be this forever, but it's just, especially in music, you got to learn so much and like to be able to even creatively do certain things. So like with these guitars and like how I'm making music and how I'm sounding and how I'm singing, because I mean I'm not like a great singer. Like I had to really try like
you were like, born Beyonce. What are you talking about?
Like I had like I'm still not even like a good singer, but like to even get to like where I like how like this little sound is, like it took a lot and a long time and a lot of finessing and working and a lot of everything. So like for the first time now, like with this new music, I feel like it's not me searching and trying to figure out what I'm supposed to make or how I'm supposed to make it or what I'm supposed to do. It's like I know what I'm supposed to, what I want to say, I guess, and how I want to say it, and I know how I feel now. Like I'm not like as lost in it. So now I just like go in there and say it, I guess. With the music is it's, I don't know how to explain it, I guess.
Mean, it's kind of like learning how to be your real self.
No, literally, because I mean, the world makes you feel crazy.
It does, dude.
So, I mean, for a long time, like, I thought that, like, this mayhem and this weird person that I am, like, because, I mean, a lot of people think I'm just really cool or whatever you want to believe, but it's like, I'm just really weird, and I've always felt really weird, but the world, like, you know, makes you feel like there's certain sides of you that you shouldn't show or that you should be ashamed of or that you should keep to yourself or whatever it may be.
Especially in our town, too.
Yeah, especially coming from a small town where...
It's a mill town.
Exactly.
Older gentlemen.
You do something and everybody knows about it and either they're applauding you for it or they're laughing at you for it. So it's like you kind of got to commit to whatever you show to the public where we're from. So I've always been like... Not that I love being me, and the people that are close to me know I've always been me to the death. But like at least what I've shown to the public, it's scary because you got to wear that, like you said, like a mask. You got to wear that, and they only understand what you show them or the image or that little peep into their life that they see. That's all you get to be for a little bit. So it's really scary when you go to show people stuff. So like. Finally getting to this point where I'm understanding it and I can just kind of express it and I'm okay with it. It's like it's a little bit of a weight off my shoulders. So now it's like we just got to figure out the marketing and the stuff to take to the next level.
Man,
you know?
that shit is that'll come by the wayside, man. That'll happen with time. That shit that you just keep learning and and then we got AI fucking technology that'll take it over. Put your music in front of the right people. Dude, that's tight. I really like your perspective on that. It seems kind of, you know, I haven't seen you for a bit, you know, so I'm just pumped to see anyway. But it does seem like your vibe is right, man. It seems like
Thank you.
The glow in your eyes is back.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm happy to see it.
That means a lot. It's important you say that because that's literally what scared me. Is like when I was at a point that I was just like self-destructing without even realizing that I was trying to just kill myself. Like I'd like looked in the mirror one day and like my eyes just looked so dead.
You're like, who the fuck is that?
And then I was just like, whoa. Like that,
bro.
I'm like an off the wall excited person, and I just looked like I was just dragging myself through life, and I was like, yeah, we got to change that. Like I'm supposed to like Hvshi. Hey, this is important for a lot of people that don't know. Hvshi in my Native American language means sunshine or rising sun. So that's when I didn't see that glow. It's like I'm supposed to be shining. Like that's why my music, I want to say this stuff because I want to light the way for people that go through the shit I go through. It's like that we can get it. We're going to be okay.
Failing out loud, man.
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
Yeah.
I love that, bro. I feel like your fans definitely fucking feel that.
Hey, I hope so.
We were just talking about how like you met up, you were like dropping off a hoodie or something or dropping off a shirt to a fan and she didn't know that you were going to be there.
Right, yeah. her mom surprised her, and I don't know, it was a good rush of feelings. She didn't know I was coming. She jumped out of the car screaming, and she was stoked. It was an experience. Like, when fans get that excited to see me, like, it blows my mind, because I just feel like a kid that, especially like in my own town, like I'm a kid that just like walked around these streets and skated around these streets, and you know, like, it's just mind blowing when I come to my city and they recognize me for something, I guess.
Yeah, they think they're meeting a superstar, and you're just like, I'm just a guy, like, and you're just so humbled, bro. You told me about a couple things like that, like, dude, your fans already fucking appreciate what you're doing. They know what you're saying, and just by being yourself authentically, it's coming across, and that's the best thing. Like, you know, like we said, we grew up in a town where it's hard to be yourself. Like, it's just
super,
and it's, you know, I fucking love it here, but when you're young and you're wearing tight pants, you get beat up.
Exactly.
You get called a queer.
Like, you got to fight. Yeah. Like, you got to.
It's how it's been, bro. I grew up wearing tight pants a couple years ahead of you, so I know exactly how the life was.
I came into my freshman year. They didn't even. I was small, bro. Like, I'm tall now. I'm like 6'1", but like back then, my freshman year, I was 5 foot tall. I was shorter than all the girls, and I walked into that bitch wearing hot pink Hvshi skinny jeans that were all torn up because they didn't even have size that fit me, and the guys.
Wait, who'd you get those Hvshis from? Was it like a girl you knew, or did you buy them?
I went to the store with my mom and got them.
Oh, man. I love it.
I was just out here trying to be a punk and skate and just
I wonder if I was working at the stores that you came in to got the, because like I worked at the mall stores, and I would just sell kids. I'd be like, yeah, bro,
PacSun and all them little places out there.
That was my first job, was PacSun.
Yeah, I was just trying to make noise. That's why like it turned into music, because it was just like, I've always had that expressive side, and I just have always wanted to make noise, and like, I don't know. I just like having fun and like expressing and like
communicating who you are through your clothing.
Exactly. Just whatever it is. Like, art to me is like so important in life. Just
fashion is definitely art to you too. Right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Too,
yep. Like, so I mean, you can see my style, or like almost like what I'm feeling or going through, like by how I'm dressed. I mean, my style has changed. I mean, somewhat dramatically through my whole career, I guess. Like, it's grown with me, I feel like, and I mean, some people may not like it because it's getting crazy, but
they don't need to like it. They ain't wearing it.
Yeah, I love it. It's so fun. Like, you can kind of like, and that, I mean, I guess that's why like my fashion lately has been getting a lot more crazy, because like I was saying, it's like I'm getting so much more okay with just being me. It's like, before it was, like I said, it's scary to show the public, like, are they gonna be okay with it? Like, and then,
well, and it's confusing because you're like, is this the real me, or like,
right? And then people make you feel uncomfortable. Like, bro, you're changing. Like, that was the hardest thing for me. Like, coming home from tour.
That's corny.
And then everybody was like, you're changing, or you're acting different. And I was like,
did you do this shit to stay the same?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to like be the same guy like forever. I was like, wouldn't that kind of get boring? Like, I was like, I'm gonna treat everybody the same, and I'm gonna be me and rock with that, and like who I am as a loving person. That's always
the
gonna be
essence
me.
Of you and your soul.
Exactly,
man. That's always
exactly.
around.
But like everybody wants to question you when you start progressing, because they start feeling uncomfortable about it. So then you start questioning yourself. Like you said, it's like, is this the real me, or am I just being weird, or am I doing this, or like,
am I trying to get attention? Am I trying to like make sure I'm known? I always thought about that, man, because I love fashion. I always have, and like I go through all these struggles of like my self-hate would come back hard when sometimes I'd be wearing like this exuberant outfit that I would leave the house, you know, just like kerchow.
You're having so much fun.
And then I get out, bro, and somebody makes me feel stupid, or someone points it out, or even just nobody does, and I just all of a sudden get like, man, what am I doing? Like, I'm trying to get attention here, and then I start hating myself. It's a weird, a crazy thing.
Like, bro, this is corny, and then you're like, no, like, it's not dumb to have fun. Like, it's fun. Like,
express yourself.
Like, man. I mean, a lot of times I like wearing just sweats and a hoodie and just being comfy as shit and like rocking, but like every once in a while, like when you dress up and like put your thing together, like how you're feeling, like it's so fun. Like, and you feel like it's you, but yeah, like there's a lot of haters there that they'll like point something out, and then you're just like,
you start thinking about it. Bro, it's so funny.
Well, that's I always be high as shit too.
Oh, so, You're like, wait, is everybody thinking this? Everybody thinks my shirt sucks? God damn.
Oh, bro, I'm way too high. Everybody's looking at me right now.
Bro. That's the realest thing. Wait, hold up. You know what I did when I had first started like smoking a ton of weed is I was like, I'm going to do the ultimate, like I'm going to go into public hard. I went to a hockey game high as a kite, and it's the whitest, brightest, lightest thing you've ever experienced, bro.
Oh my gosh,
yeah. But anyway, yeah, going high in public trying to fucking express yourself is like, man,
right.
I was trying to just be in my own world. That's what the point
right.
of this whole
I was just
situation
vibing out
but,
now. Well, that's the thing for me is like I really don't care what people think at all.
mm-hmm.
It's just like I'm either like antisocial or very social. I only have like two modes. So like sometimes it's kind of like hard for me to like talk to people, especially when they make me question something. So like if somebody like walks up and be like, what the fuck's up with those pants, bro? Like I could really care less what they think about my pants, but when I have to like try to sit there and like
they just
think
give
about
you a
it,
question to answer.
Yeah, I'll be like, I don't know, like, and then I just feel awkward because I'm like, I really don't know what to say. Like this is just weird. Like I'd just rather be vibing. So
yeah, dude. All right, so listeners, if you're listening and people dress exuberantly or someone does something crazy, realize that your very first reaction, sometimes what they mean, I think, is like, I noticed that your outfit is loud, and I just kind of wanted to say that to you. But that's not how language works. So I think, listeners, if you see somebody who's wearing an outfit that's just crazy, just understand that it's a little bit of like the interior of them just poking through. So they're probably an interesting, wonderful person, honestly. Like I don't know, dude. That's kind of a little secret in life that I have is like when someone, if they have like dope clean shoes, or they're just like their outfit's super normal, and then have these out of town shoes. They have these, or like they're wearing a leather jacket in a place you shouldn't be wearing a leather jacket. I'm like, man, what's up? What's up with you, man? I bet
why
you're
are
awesome.
you here, man?
Yeah. So something I want to make sure we do is I want to talk about your influences, man. Like I know that like, because I think we met back in the days of liking G-Eazy. I don't remember exactly how we met, but I remember that we would like send some G-Eazy shit back and forth.
Definitely.
And then I know you love Cudi. You want to talk about some of your influences, and then also like who are some of the influences that you've been working with too?
Okay, so I mean, growing up, I think a lot of my music was like my dad's music. I mean, early on, but like one of the first people is gonna sound hilarious, but I guess it might explain why my music kind of mellow. Jack Johnson is like one of like my early like most favorite artists ever, and like his music's just like super beautiful. It's like untouchable. So like there was a lot of that, and then like Red Hot Chili Peppers was always like super dope, stuff like that. And then I started liking my own types of music as I got older.
Who got you into hip hop?
I think honestly just like being at school and being a skater, and like being a punk, like just like finding my style. So like that's like when
I was into punk and then hip hop.
Yeah, because I guess if we're going in order, it went from like that to where like we were wearing zebra print skinny jeans in middle school and being a skater and like dyeing our hair and listening to Motley Crue and like Suicide Silence and like crazy ass bands and stuff, just for like just being crazy. And then from that it was like, okay, well, like, this is really fun, but, like, I kind of just want to, like, fit in a little bit. Like, so, and then, like, I started listening to hip-hop, which was super dope. And, like, I think my first favorite rapper probably was, like, Lil Wayne, like, T-Pain.
Hell yeah.
And because, like, I always loved, like, the auto-tune sound early on just because it's hella melodic. I love melody. I love that whole sort of deal. So, I liked that, and then... But that was just really like what was available to me. I didn't understand music at that point, or like, so people started sending me stuff or showing me shit. And then, so like early in middle school is when I found Kid Cudi and Wiz Khalifa. And those are probably like two of my favorite artists in the world. Yeah, like those two.
What albums was it? Like, you remember like what songs? What was it?
Like,
was it like Day and Night type with
like
Kid Cudi?
Day and Night with Kid Cudi, but like right before that he had like Cleveland is dope. Like some of those early songs, but then like Wiz Khalifa, like Cabin Fever, like before that, like what was there, Cushion Orange Juice, all that stuff. I got in trouble in middle school because I was always like slapping Cushion Orange Juice and like all the weed songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
And like I loved that shit.
Dude, I love that vibe. That was such a dope time for music. I feel like I feel like that genre of music, that time, that little chunk of music, whatever years that was, I have like some homies that I can just think of instantly.
Right.
Those times.
I'll just be on me and my friends like right after like 8th grade, freshman year, sophomore year. We just be on datpiff.com,
right,
downloading all the Wiz Khalifa mixtapes, all like Tyga Well Done 2 and 3, listening to the most rowdy shit we could, getting all the Mac Miller mixtapes. Like Dat Piff was the spot. That was like before SoundCloud was open.
That was what, dude. Yeah, that was for hip hop, man. That was for
I
rappers.
just download all that shit onto my iPod, and then when I got my first whip, I didn't even have like a.
What was your first whip?
Honda CRV.
Oh,
yeah, like that
nice.
99, you know.
Got that 1999.
Yeah, so I had that, but it just had a CD player in it. So we go on Dat Piff and download all that shit. We'd burn like all the Wiz Khalifa mixtapes and all the and shit. So we just sit in the car and just slap that shit forever. That was the only thing that played in my car for like 4 years. It's just Wiz Khalifa. That's it.
That's so dope. Well, it's crazy though, bro. It probably trained your brain to be a good rapper.
I
Honestly,
hope so.
bro.
That's like 28 grams. Like that was really my favorite mixtape. That was later on, like my senior year. We had like my senior year. The only things that we listened to, I shit you not, we'd listen to the Acid Rap mixtape and 28 Grams by Wiz Khalifa, and that is like
what's
really
on
it.
28 Grams? I'm trying to think of what's on that album.
It's just a mixtape. It's got like Banger, Foreign,
okay.
Aw Shit, Man, like that Weed mix. It's like a bunch of remixes to like pop songs,
right.
And like, but it's called Trap Wiz. And like it's just like him going crazy and like singing like crazy auto tune songs.
So much music. Think about how much shit that dude's put out.
Dude, I have an iPod Nano, one of the blue ones that I got my sophomore year. I still have it, and I literally, and this shit's old. I have like 380 Wiz Khalifa songs on that. I'm not even joking.
Dude, he's unstoppable.
Like, yeah, I'm like, and then he still just drops mixtapes like every couple months.
He's like, I'm Fast and Furious. Yeah,
he doesn't even have to do anything anymore, dude.
Yeah.
Like, he
probably just has, bro. He probably has like Bill Murray. He apparently just has like one fucking phone, and you sometimes he answers, sometimes he doesn't. I bet you Wiz Khalifa is like that. It's like if you want to feature with Wiz, you just like once a month he picks up his phone. And he's like, yeah, nah, I'm good. Oh, Fast and Furious? Nah. Jumanji? Nah. Like, yeah.
I'm good.
I'm good. So you drew inspiration from those guys a lot. You have been, let's make sure we cover, you have a lot of features, right? You know, like I've been with you down in Portland working with Jury.
Yeah.
Back in working with Lane down there too.
Definitely.
Who else you been working with? Like, you got any like news coming up with music, with labels, any of that kind of shit going on?
Kinda. I mean, we always making music with the boys. Mm-hmm. Lane always kills it. He goes down on the rapping. Zach's been doing a lot of cool shit. He's got a crazy studio set up now. But
telling me.
I probably got more features coming with DC Cap.
Okay.
He's on Perfect Timing. That's literally like, that's probably my favorite Portland rapper. That dude is crazy.
DC Cap.
Yeah, he's got
I'll have
some.
to check more of his stuff out.
He's got some of his solo stuff, and his new stuff he's doing right now is super dope.
Yeah.
I've been loving it. His music is so sick, and like he's such a dope dude, man. Every time we kick it, we just get along and just fuck shit up, have a good ass time. Like, he's super cool. His music's tight. We always working on some new projects. So I'm working with this guy also from Phoenix. His name's Rio Wiley. He's a crazy like pop R&B singer. He just got off tour. He's doing a lot of really, really dope shit.
Okay.
He's like on his own level. Like he's who inspired me to start performing with a band again. Because like he invited me to some shows. I was performing with him, and he performs with a band, like full band and shit, and a DJ, and it's just like the craziest set of sounds, bro. It was so tight. And then I started like doing that, like having a drummer behind me and a guitar, and a lot of my songs are like that anyways. And I fell in love with it. It's so much more real, and like the fans love it because they don't have to just stare at you walking back and forth across the stage, you know?
Yeah, they get something to watch at. They can zone out different people on the stage.
Exactly. Because the people that bounce can bounce, and the people that just want to vibe can watch the guitar player and just kind of bob.
Also, there's some spiritual magical shit happening when more than one person is contributing to the music.
Dude,
I have been experiencing it lately with these new bands.
It's way more energy, man.
It's like cool, man.
It's hard to like give that much of your energy to the people when you're on stage. So like when there's that much more people, it's like you are sharing it. Like it's like a super team. Like it's crazy.
Well, it is a super team. I mean, that's the thing is you're kind of the maestro, bro. That's the thing is, as you're getting better, as you're improving, you know, like you're gonna be learning. You've been learning a lot of instruments, like trying to, and you can dive your foot in that. So I don't know. Just think about in 10, 15, 20 years, like what's gonna happen. You know, you're gonna actually be able to really, you know, be the maestro of the audience in all these ways.
Absolutely.
That are in here.
Absolutely. That's what I'm really excited actually, is because I've been talking about it, at least with David, the guy who plays the guitar with me.
David Robbins.
Yeah, that dude is a savage.
Bro, it's so cool. I've been like seeing him around in the circles that like with the bands.
Yeah.
I grew up with his older brother.
Oh, for real?
Me and his older brother, we would like DJ like the Renegade parties around.
That's savage. Yeah, dude. David's awesome. Everything about that dude is crazy dope. Yeah, he's got a vibe. But we've been talking because to me, I'm like, it's about to be 2020, and like I think that's really important, just because if you think about it, like music changes every decade. Like there's like every decade is like, for art in general, is monumental. Yeah, like that's how you like. There's the 70s, the 60s, the 80s, the 90s, like 2000s. Like it means something. I don't know. Like
definitely
so
does.
like I feel like the 20s. I'm like. Especially because if you look right now in art, like a lot of things are being remade right now. Like movies are a lot of remakes, and like there's a lot of the songs that are being remade and resampled, and like all that stuff like that. We're kind of at like a creative block right now, just in humanity in some sorts of sense. Like, I mean, we're definitely doing a lot of new shit, but like in some ways, like it is kind of like we're hitting a wall. We're running out of things to do. So I feel like in like this new decade here, like music's about to do something crazy.
There's gonna be some butterfly shit happening.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've literally been saying, I was like, I don't know what it is, but we need to be a part of this.
I was gonna say, you feel like a part of it though.
Yeah.
Me lately, I've been kind of expanding like what I want to do, because I don't want to completely stop DJing. Like I love, you know, not so much performing. It's I don't know, creating something from start to finish, obviously. But I'm just kind of curious where mine's going to go. I want to start doing more MIDI work and stuff too. So I know that's kind of like my realm of what happens with the DJ. I start doing more MIDI work and shit, and then your realm, you've been starting to do more instrumentation,
definitely, and
all that. So all right, well, we gotta wrap it up here shortly. If there's anything else you want to mention, I definitely want to end on a message to the fans. I know that like the fans, like the people who listen to music, the people who support you, is something that you and I always talk about. You're like one of the most appreciative, grateful fucking people that I know.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Yeah,
dude. I mean, your fans mean a lot to you, and you make that apparent. So, I mean, is there any messages you want to end with, like to them, like anything? Dude. Maybe what? All right. How about this? What if they're going through some mayhem at a time in their life? Like, you got any messages for them?
Man, everything is temporary. That's like I got forever on my neck, but like. Everything's temporary. I mean, it's like life gets really hard and life gets really great. But one thing you got to know is none of it's going to last forever. You just got to like ride whatever's in front of you. And I mean, you can make it as good or bad as you want. I mean, I've honestly been in some of the worst times of my life having the most fun in my life, just because you're just fighting through it and just going hard. Like, and I've had times where like everything was great in my life and I felt worse than ever, just because like you're in a weird bug. Like it just depends on how you're gonna deal with it. And that's what like I mean, I was taught that by a coach a long time ago. Like it's like everything's a mentality. It's how you gonna treat it. How are you gonna approach it? Like it's a perspective. Like I had a like a terrible trip one time. And everything got so dark, and just like life was at the time, it was just so dark, and like I couldn't see anything good in the world or in the room at the time. And just like the only thought that I could have in my head was draw butterflies on the wall. I was like, I don't know why, but that's all I could think about. So I just grabbed a marker and just started drawing butterflies and like shit all over the wall, because it was like, it's dark. I was like, but I'm the only one that can make it light, and like butterflies are pretty, so like I'm gonna just start drawing shit.
You just got out of the way and let your hand do the talking.
Like exactly. Like you just kind of like, and I mean that's kind of like just how I thought about life after that. Is like, if you want it to be pretty, make it pretty. If you keep complaining, I mean, it's easy to complain and stuff, and I do it plenty, but like it's easy to complain. It's easy to talk yourself into a dark, terrible place, and it's easy to get stuck there because it's really hard to get out. But if you want to, you're the one that can do it. And that's why I make music, because it's like Kid Cudi to me was like a superhero. He made me feel like I wasn't alone when I had to fight these battles. And then like slowly, like you get like when I started making music and stuff, I wanted a superhero. I needed somebody to tell me something, like so that I could feel okay. And then I realized like nobody's gonna tell me that, or nobody's gonna say it. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna just sing it. And that's why I literally started making music so that I could sing it and listen to it for myself, because it made me feel better. Like that was really it. Like, so I just go say whatever I needed to hear, and then I realized I was like, other people need to hear that, like so that we can all feel okay, because it's really gonna be okay, you know. I mean, it sucks sometimes, but it's gonna be okay. Like you just gotta keep moving and making better choices. If you don't like something, then just change it. Like change isn't always easy, but it's easier than being in a place you don't want to be.
Yeah, you don't have to stick in that place you want to be. It's crazy. I mean, I think it's something we don't really realize when we're in these darkness, and we think that we're just like, we have to stay in here, we deserve to be in here, whatever.
Right.
But what the thing is, I was just thinking as you were saying about the butterfly man, that dark place that you're in right now, that's just the the cocoon.
Exactly.
Got too excited, bro. That's just the cocoon. That dark place you're in is the cocoon.
Exactly, and that's how I've always kind of felt. Is like, I'm a Sagittarius. And like I definitely, like, you don't even gotta believe in astrology or whatever, but like my personality is like a Sagittarius. It's like we shoot for the stars, we want to be free, we don't like being controlled, we just want to go for it. That's it. And that's what, like, I've always, like, if you're shooting for the stars, you gotta pull back before you shoot the arrow. Like you have to pull back.
There's gonna be some tension when you pull back too.
So every time, like me, it's funny because like people around me will think that it's weird, because when things start getting really tough, or I start getting into a weird spot with music, or I start getting like frustrated, or I don't know what's next, I'm always like, ooh, this shit's about to be crazy. Like, because when I don't know what's coming next, I'm like, it's about to be like, that just means I get to hit another breakthrough. Like, it's cool when you're doing it and you know what you're doing and having a good time, but it's temporary, because eventually that idea is going to run out and you're going to have to do something different. So then when I get in that in between and I'm stuck, it's kind of frustrating, but I get so excited because I'm like, eventually I'm about to break through and I'm about to start doing something completely new, and that's going to be exciting again.
And like, you wouldn't be able to even see that path lit up at all if you weren't doing that. If you were just like, man, this sucks, I'm so anxious, I'm so stressed out, whatever, and you ain't moving forward. But and
then eventually you just let it go and you ain't doing nothing, and then you're there. So it's like,
do something, man.
Exactly. Like, no matter what it is in life, like, it doesn't got to be what I'm doing. It doesn't got to be what anybody even thinks you should be doing. Like, whatever you feel like your heart wants to do, just take off running in that direction. And when you hit obstacles, like, just don't just punch it over and over. Sometimes it's the way around. Like, sometimes,
the tools to get over that obstacle are going to come up. Like, you don't have them right now, but you don't need to worry about that right now.
Exactly.
When that obstacle comes up, you're going to be able to fight it.
Exactly.
Man. Bro,
just stay on it.
Man, I'm so hyped that you came here today. All right, let's just end off with tell everybody where to find you, and then tell everybody what's coming up next. What are we going to expect here?
All right, you can find me on Instagram at HVSHI Hvshi. You can find me on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good stuff. Thank you to all my fans. Love you guys. For real. We're going to keep riding through this shit. We got a lot of great stuff coming. I just filmed a new music video for Fake Friends while I'm here. So that's going to be coming soon, and it's going to be really, really wild. And then we got that EP and a couple more singles coming. A lot of new things for 2020 that are gonna be really big, but I don't want to say nothing because it's really like when it happens, it's really gonna shock people. It's gonna be crazy.
Well, bro, I'm happy to fucking be on that path with you, man. I'm happy we got you here, and I'm happy that your fans finally got to like hear you speak for a little bit.
For real. I've just been talking through the music for so long, so I'm grateful that you let me come in here and fucking. Oh shit! Talk about my heart though, and tell the people how it is, and get to open up a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing is, that I mean, I know your music, but I knew you before your music, and so I know you for your heart. So that's Absolutely. What I want to make sure that people understand about you, bro.
Definitely, so, I appreciate that for real. That means a lot.
Of course, man. All right, man. Junkyard Love Podcast out.